heartwarming kind of feeling for me, because the speakers over here have talked about nationalistic fervor. I will tell you, I come from a clan of warriors. My forefathers, I'm the fourth generation in the army, so it was never by chance that I ended up in the army. And I chose to be a special forces soldier and an officer for very specific reasons. Because majority of you over here are young, I will draw corollaries from what I learned in the special forces, my dreams as a young man, what I learned over time in my service career, and now how do I implement those in my time as an entrepreneur, as a budding entrepreneur, learning throughout the way. The special forces training is the hardest training known to man. You can be best of cricketers, athletes, you can be anything. But the point which needs to be understood is you perform, your body and mind performs well when it is given two things. A lot of things to train on and a lot of rest and nutrition. In the special forces, the last two things are taken off. So when you perform a job, when you perform a mission, there are no retakes, there are no second chances. You are inside a battle zone of your own. We were two squads. A squad is the smallest unit of a special forces unit. 6 guys. Trained in weapons, trained in explosives, trained in navigation. It's a self-contained fighting unit which can survive any onslaught. We were 2 squads deployed in South Kashmir. I'm not telling it, it's not a story, it's a reality which I tell you now. When you talk of brotherhood, when you talk of nationalist conclave, you must understand where I come from. How do you feel like losing the men? In South Kashmir, it was 2 decades back. I was a young lieutenant with 23 years of age and around 5-6 months of service. Till the time you're not blooded, till the time you have not killed a terrorist, you're not given the special forces badge in special forces. You need to earn it, and you need not earn it. My father was a Jammu and Kashmir Rifles officer. I volunteered for special forces. You don't get it as your parental claim. You need to earn that maroon after undergoing training. So coming back to the story. So we are 2 squads, one led by a junior commissioned officer and self in 1 squad. It was a generic input. Village happened to be someplace in South Kashmir. 2 decades back, it was raining fire in J&K. What you see now, it's still mellowed on. It's because of the security forces, what the situation we see is, it's still very normal, I would say. So we went for the operation, and what happened was that of that generic input, because we always operated in very few numbers, we went straight away to search the houses. There was no Rashtra Rifle support for us, there was nothing. We went, 1 squad went under the JCO to 1 house, and I went to the other house. When I called out the house owner outside, he told me there are 2 terrorists inside. With those 6 men, whatever I could muster, I put the inner cordon and stops. We didn't have the luxury of inner or outer cordon or a lot of people, because special forces operate like that. It's not a traditional infantry unit with a lot of strength. So we did that thing, and if you see the demography or the pattern of layout of the village in J&K, you'll find especially in built-up areas, the houses are so close that even if you're trying to cordon 1 house, you need to cordon 3 houses. So with only 6 guys, we did that. When I was placing the scouts and came back to the position, I was behind a boundary wall where I was aiming for the windows or wherever the terrorists might come from. The terrorists opened the window and they fired indiscriminately. So there, a boundary wall in front of me, I retaliated with the fire. They jumped out of the window and approached me. I fired back. They turned their direction and went towards 5 meters away where my buddy was. Because my primary arc of weapon went towards his direction, I was supposed to stop the fire. I stopped it, but I could not see the response of my buddy firing back at him. In the meantime, the terrorist climbed that boundary wall because it was a small one, and then they vanished into the field behind, and then there was a river, and then I went on the spot and checked. My buddy was shot straight in the head. He was wearing a bulletproof patka. At that time, it was bulletproof patka. Now it is ballistic helmets. It was shot through the head, and 16 bullets were there. Even if he was wearing a BP plate, 16 bullets were there on his chest. He died on the spot. If you go back in a moment, this was the guy who I slept in the same sleeping bag. He made food for me, served the food for me. He was 21 years of age. I was 23. A month back, he had got married. And this man sacrificed his life that day. Imagine a person, 23 years of age, seeing all these things happen. That day, I wanted to burn half of that village down where this operation was happening. So what you need to understand is there are people who see extreme combat. And extreme combat is not at all glamorous. The most important thing it teaches you is compassion. I lost that guy. I've lost men on mountaintops. I've lost men in streets. I've lost men in alleys. It's not a punchline. I'm still telling you, because you must understand the person who gives his life for people who don't even know that people are existing over there, protecting themselves every single day. You must have gratitude towards life. You must have gratitude towards people who are doing this for you. As young people, now we deviate to the present scenario. As young people, you must have outlandish dreams. I wanted to join army only to join the special forces. There was no other thing I could think of. I wanted to see combat. I wanted to climb mountains. I wanted to jump from an aircraft. That is the way I wanted to lead my life. That was my goal in life. For you people, as nationalists and being patriotic, even if you're not in the forces, follow your dreams. Dreaming big is the key to your success. Don't think, and one more important thing on that is that it has to be your dream. It cannot be your father's dream. It cannot be your brother's dreams. It cannot be your friend's dream. I wanted to join special forces. In my house, I'm the fourth generation. All three prior to me, my great-grandfather served in the British Army. My grandfather served in the British Army. My father served in the Indian Army. All were infantryans, the people who walk. My two sisters, they both are married to army officers. They both are infantryans. And as a good father, my father told me never join the special forces because the rest of your life you will be climbing mountains only. The point I'm trying to bring is, I joined army for passion. For you, it is important to follow passion. It was not a job for me. The day I finished my command, I knew the rifle, the assault rifle which we hold as special forces, my direct contact with troops is gone. I was not going to do anything about that anymore. It was my time to call it quits. So kindly have dreams which are big enough. Again, the second point on this, we have talked about unabashed patriotism. It should run through your blood. It should not be on the eve of Independence Day or Republic Day. You need to breed it. Even if you're not in the forces, try and serve the nation in whatever you are doing. You are young. You are right now at the stage of your life where you must take chances. I took chances in life and joined the special forces. I want you to take chances and become an entrepreneur, not do a job. I will tell you what is the reason behind it. I am myself an entrepreneur. I had great aversion of taking orders in the army. I found it difficult to take orders. I found it difficult. That's just me. So when I left the army, I knew as a traditional veteran, people will join a resettlement course, go over there, do whatever courses, that is their job. I wanted to build a business. I ventured into entrepreneurship. One thing I would like to tell you about dreaming big is about setbacks and failures. Being from an army background, I failed my SSB twice. I cleared it in third attempt. I am the only officer of the Indian Army who has done 3 probations. And let me tell you one thing very categorically. 1 day of a special forces probation is equivalent to 1 year. I did it. First I failed. Then I went to a unit. I did the probation, had my differences, come back. Then I went to 7 para special forces, which I finally commanded. So when you dream big, there will be failures. You must take them in your life. Without extraordinary efforts, you will not achieve extraordinary results. So you need to slog. There is no book, there is no pamphlet, there is no précis in the army which tells you to kill a militant. There is nothing. It just gives a SOP. This is how things are to be done. Operations are like this, this. It is your buddy, it is your seniors who tell you that when you're going inside a room, might be the primary weapon fails, so your hand should automatically go to the secondary weapon. Where it is to be kept, how a shoelace has to be tied, he tells you, no book tells you that. So once you are growing in life, where I'm coming to is do community development, build. If you are a 4th year student, if you are a senior, empower your person who is in 1st year. It is your moral responsibility to give it back to the first generation. That is how countries grow. That is how economies grow. That is how you are supposed to give. Give it back. If I had so much of knowledge, being a special forces veteran, and I don't give it back to the next generation, we are losing and we are dividing a great thing which I learned in the army. Become entrepreneurs. Why I tell you, why I am on a mission to make 1 crore entrepreneurs. I will tell you my story. Failures in this also. I went to London for a close protection officer's course. That was the only transferable skills I could think I could gauge from my 20 years in the army, 18 and a half in the special forces. I went. I have not seen anybody going to London for a close protection. It's a niche course. I came back to India. There were special air service guys. There was Green Berets. There were Navy SEALs. There was whole lot of special forces guys doing that course. We did that course, came back to India. I did some work over there. Came back and opened my company of close and executive protection. In India, we loosely term as bodyguards. There's no bodyguards, there's no bouncers in the world market. In India, it's still an unorganized sector. So even if I have to stand as a close protection operative in place like London or something, I need a 3 weeks course. I need a license. In India, an ex-veteran will just have a weapon and he will come and stand by you. I'm telling you, this is the truth. Half of my special forces regiment does this. So when I came back, I opened that job. I opened that company. Because I could understand the nitty-gritties of how a close protection has to be done. It's a science in itself. I kept my prices high. Not even a single client I could get. Because normal people will pay 50,000, 40,000 for a close protection operative. I was charging 1.25 lakh. Lesson of the life. Either you will compromise on your quality, or you will come back, or you do what the norm is doing. Don't follow the norm. Try and change it. Why I tell you about following your dreams and becoming an entrepreneur is give your job back. I am where I am. Whatever social media happens to me by chance. It's not a forayed adventure or a misadventure or a career for me. It has never been. It's just happened to be. I happened to be on few podcasts, made some YouTube videos. It's just happening. It's proliferating. I'm not stopping it. But the point what I'm trying to tell you is build and empower people. You can be the greatest entrepreneur in this world. You might be Harvard educated. You might be having everything. You kindly go to US. You want a life over there, do it. But at least something, do a startup in India where people can get employed. It is how you give it back to this great nation. This is how you will develop this country. Invest in technologies, invest in manufacturing, services we are good at. I will tell you a simple example. A Tavor assault rifle is a Israelis weapon industries made weapon, which is a prime weapon of all the special forces in the country. Whether it is Marcos, Garud, special forces, name other few, maybe some weapons, but this is the prime mainstay. It is their weapon. The holographic sights, the ecosystem, build everything. You build so many things. Drones are being built, but the microchips and the components are coming from China. You will always be held, like you will always be looking for things. The navigation which we do use all kind of GPSs in the world. If Google stops it, it's a US Navy proprietorship. You can't do. Then you come back to the normal method of compass and everything. Build, own. And once you are into manufacturing, once you are into technology, invest into this thing. And final word, I would like to say that invest in your fitness. It's of paramount importance. The Honorable Prime Minister, in his Man Ki Baat, says about obesity being an epidemic. It's reality. He says about cutting on oily food. I would take a step further and says move out and start having fitness in life. Move out. Move outdoors, run, jog, swim. Do something in which you are physically fit. In Special Forces, the first parade of the day, which starts at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, is a physical fitness. If I can't reach my target, there is no point being a Special Forces operative. If you are not fit, you can be the greatest person on it. It should be embedded and make a lifestyle change. Don't be just for a particular phase of your life. Okay, New Year is coming, we'll make a resolution. Go for it, finish it. I have received this much of weight is to be reduced, come back. The Honorable Prime Minister says to make this nation developed by 2047, it should not be his and his only dream. It has to be the dream of everyone sitting here in this auditorium. Every person has to contribute. If you are not contributing towards that, you are not building communities, you are not building businesses, you are not giving it back to the nation. Here we are. We can talk till the cows come back home. But we will not be able to develop as a nation. People will come and bully us. They will say something. We'll do. And we have to just listen and do it. This is all I have to say. Anything. And wishing you all a very great Independence Day. May God bless you all and may you have a great life. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.